It's reunion time on the Orbital. People gaze with love and adoration at faces they haven't seen in too long, noticing that the lines left by the passage of time and lives well lived. Little crow's feet around the eyes and laughter lines on cheeks.
You haven't aged a day.
They lie, pushing a little bloom of love out into the world.
Oh, it's been too long,
says another, tears welling in their eyes. Flossy chimes in.
Oh, look, hasn't he grown up? He was only this big last time I saw him. And look at how shiny his head's got.
Is the Panther Clipper in update 17?
Lets some ne'er-do-well from one of the bars. And with that, the moment is gone. Forever lost in an endless sea of moments, never to be revisited. The livestream ends, and the onlookers sigh and dab at their eyes with a hanky, before hefting their paint job codes and turning to head back to work. Just then, the big screen flickers back into life. The Hutton locals turn with hope writ large on their faces. But it's not to be. There is no encore, no forgotten nugget of news from the Pilots Federation that simply had to be shared with the masses. Someone mutters.
Oh, for fuck!
But is drowned out by the huge speakers announcing,
Our mics are live.
Good evening, I'm Wilma Fingerdo, and I don't know what all the fuss is about. They didn't even do a segment on mining.
but we're getting the Panther and Clipper in update 17, right? Right? I'm Mia Harkness, and I'm a wee bit overexcited.
I'm Sandy Crevice, and I'm sure that Sally hasn't aged a bit, and it's been months since the last live stream.
I'm Norma Snuckers, and I'll pan anyone who says anything nasty about Arthur's hair.
He hasn't got any hair. Ow.
Let's get to the headlines while the apology officer's still unconscious. LCU AOK PR.
Tharg hits us where it hurts, right in the news feed.
It's hot, it's messy, it's still going. The latest update on Too Hot, Too Messy.
Space Mania rocks the galaxy from a field filled with stars.
Are you bamboozled by the BGS? Yeah, us too. Best this evening, we've got news from the campaign trail, with Zach Rappin coming under increased scrutiny from the investigative agencies as to whether his past lives were a pirate, a painter, a pimp, or a prince, all of which have various negative and positive implications on his suitability to be federal president, but it isn't our place to pass comment on that. Outside candidate LCU No Fool Like One was feeling a little left out, with the implication that you're only likely to be taken seriously as a candidate if you've got at least some skeletons in your closet, and something for the opposition to moan about. His PR team felt that being banned from singing in public ever again wasn't suitably shady for a politician, and therefore they've been feeding the gutter press a series of salacious stories and positively eye-popping tales to ensure that LCU stays at the top of the red tops and not relegated to the lower scrolled sections of the political column in the 36 Ophiuchi Monthly. Whereas with most political candidates, the stories are at least loosely based in fact, there is some degree of scepticism about the claims related to LCU No Fool Like One. For instance, that he was present during the storming of the Bastille, had personally operated the guillotine that shortened the height of a number of members of the bourgeoisie, also that he was once proclaimed a king by the Empire, which normally would disqualify him from running for federal president. But he was mysteriously stripped of that title after the incident with the lady, the lake, the rather sharp implement, and the mistimed return throw. Apparently playing catch with mysterious watery ladies across misty limpid pools is no basis for any form of government. Then, of course, there were the scurrilous claims that it was LCU No Fool Like One who removed all the bark mounds from the galaxy, having scanned them first and catalogued them, to make himself unfeasibly rich and send everyone else on a wild goose chase. Unfortunately, despite all of this, and contrary to all the rumours, LCU is entirely the wrong sort of right person to be a candidate. Okay, so he likes a glass of Centauri Megagen or two of an evening, and is prone to long diatribes about newly discovered species of exobiology, but other than that, as far as we can tell, he's actually quite a decent bloke, as long as you don't let him sing. All of which amounts to being a theoretical fantastic candidate, and as a result, wholly inappropriate to be a low-down skullduggery employing rotten politician.
The Thargoids strike back, with every pilot's codex being full to the brim of ancient tales of how the war was won and where it got us, from back in the day when we last encountered the Thargoids. Most people are aware of the use of the mycoid virus to bring Tharg the Mighty's mighty minions low, and send them scuttling back to the Col 70 sector from whence they came. It appears, however, that Tharg has learned his lesson and turned the tables on humanity, studying all the millions of humans that he's been kidnapping and storing up in his Titans. Tharg the Mighty appears to have come to a few conclusions. Number 1. Humans and viruses don't mix well. Okay, so some of them give you a snotty nose or a nasty rash, but in general, humanity and viruses don't mix too well. Especially the nasty ones that liquefy your insides or make your head explode or your legs drop off or your genitals turn into watermelons, complete with colour. Number 2. Humans are addicted to the news. Any news. Could be a reputable outlet like an Imperial Telegraph or the Alliance Guardian, or even the Federal Mail, complete with pull-out children's supplement and complicated crosswords made up entirely of 4-letter words with finger spaces. Or, of course, could be Galbook fake news of a kind. Of you won't believe what happened next, and public outrage, as well as generally speaking, Galbook suggests that everyone is outraged at everything most of the time. And after reading the article, either the reader is also outraged, or they're outraged at the suggestion that they're outraged. Or, of course, outraged at the grammatical and punctuation errors littered throughout the article. And after this extensive study, and having snacked on a few of them as he or she or they were peckish, Tharg the Mighty's mighty medical machine was set to hell-bent on humanity's destruction, and appear to have invested the first visually transmitted virus in the galaxy, leaking spooky pictures of what appear to be Thargoid structures, beaming lights, swooping thuckers, and strange coloured clouds to Galnet streamers and news outlets everywhere. Tharg's propagated his virulent visual video as far as he can throughout human-occupied space and sat back to see the results. There were rumours that his first testbed for this was at a gathering of pits, or burrs, or burpitians, last weekend. From there, it spread to the galactic forums, Galtwit, and of course Galbook, and the Galnet News Digest. The first indication of his insidious payload was when Commander Wotherspoon came down with a bit of a sniffle, then a sore throat, then the full collywobbles, after sticking a thingy up his appropriate orifice and wiggling it about a bit before dropping a few drops of special solution number 5 on the stick. It did indeed confirm that Tharg had weaponized mods. Mug ownership deficiency syndrome. And what's more, this appears to be a mug-resistant strain. Commander Wotherspoon has been given a good dose of there by Nurse Wyeth from behind a protective screen and wearing full hazmat suit. Plenty of fluids, and told to take 2 of these and call me in the morning. he is said to be recovering swiftly. This is a warning to all commanders. Be careful what you watch on the internet, as it just might be the latest nasty sent by Tharg to defeat humanity. Of course, it could just be that Commander Wotherspoon licked one too many commanders at PitCon. But we prefer the Thargoid story, and we're leaving it at that.
Well, we are 59 weeks into Too Hot, Too Messy, and closing in on 100,000 deliveries each of mugs and gin. Current stats put us at over 96,000 mugs and 95,000 gin. Things have slowed down a bit this week since Commander Chicks is in West Britain in an area so remote some say that they only have black and white dial-up internet. Steve King rounds off the 1,000 club, still with Stereo MD being the next likely candidate. With 824 mugs delivered, though they do still have a way to go. 824 mugs is in no way to be sniffed at though. That's 14 mugs and gin per week from the beginning of the event. 299 commanders have contributed to the effort so far. Go on, why don't you become number 300? I just noticed something. If the illustrious Commander Zulu Romeo dropped just one more mug and one gin, he would jump from 203rd place for mugs to 180th place, and from 201st place for gin to 179th place for gin. Just saying. Traffic calming measures on the approach to Hutton Orbital seem to be working well this week. Everyone seems to be able to get landed, and incidents of commanders gesturing rudely from their cockpit windows has gone down 17%. Swearing over comms is down 26%. Mooning from cockpit windows has gone up significantly, but this is believed to be because Gusto the Clown has managed to get his old Sidewinder running, and he just enjoys it rather than anything anger related. This week's Hutton stats are Norbert Pertanaud, 1 hour 23 minutes 29 seconds. Chucklefolk, 1 hour 23 minutes 44 seconds. Sinister Hedgehog, 1 hour 23:56 seconds. William P. Ursus, 1 hour 24 minutes 48 seconds. And Steve King, 1 hour 36 minutes 39 seconds.
The Galaxy has been abuzz in recent weeks with the launch of the latest entertainment software in game suites in stations across populated space. Gone are the coffee table space invaders, regulated to a storeroom, the aging Pac-Man machines and their endless waka 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 wibble wibble noises. Commanders looking for an escape from the drudgery of flying through the stars, landing in alien worlds and discovering new life out there, plus shooting at a lot of it, can now relax by firing up a simulator that allows them to fly through the stars, land on alien worlds, discover new life and shoot at some of it. And what's more, unlike the real Galaxy, it only has 1,000 or so planets. And you don't have to learn how to use a complicated HOTAS, land, take off, perform tenuous atmosphere landings on 10G worlds, and you don't get fined 100 credits for being an oaf and blocking the docking bay. Nothing like a bit of escapism doing something completely different to make you realise quite how splendid our universe actually is. And that the bit we really enjoy is tooling around in our spaceships in a ring around an Earth like, dogfighting with pirates and just occasionally blasting the odd icy rock. That said, there's something to be said for standing up from the virtual cockpit once in a while and poking the button on the coffee machine. Anyway, this cute little simulation is available in all good games rooms on a station near you, and for approximately the same cost as 15 starter Sidewinders.
In the absence of Commander Chicks this week, we went to the great minds of the BGS, those with intellects immeasurably superior to ours and brains the size of a planet. But unfortunately they told us to bugger off, so we had to ask Snuggles, McKeeg and King Hanky. What they told us is, for the bubble, There is civil unrest in Alpha Centauri, so bounties and security type missions work a treat there, because the peasants are revolting. In Colonia, Emperor King Hanky of all the Colonias bids you work in systems especially Tyr and Doriso. Looking at our other systems, and then scratching our heads, for the love of Alvin, stay out of WISE 08550714. It's at 75%, guys. Epsilon Indy, on the other hand, could do with a push. Give Haghole a poke if you have time and inclination. Hillpar C could do with a tickle. And leave Luyton 145-141 alone. So, if you want to truck something, truck it to Epsilon Eridani where there's a boom on. If you want to exploit the suffering of others for your own selfish gain and then get over to I'll try that again. If you want to exploit the suffering of others for your own selfish gain, then get yourself over to Epsilon Indy where they're having a bit of an outbreak. If you want to shoot something, then shoot it in Alpha Centauri.
Seamless, except that bit at the end.
Well, I had to insert one seam. Everybody else had done so well.
Oh, God.
Oh, good. Well, was there a Frontier live stream?
Well, wait, actually, yes.
Hang on.
I think there was.
That must be a typo. It says yes, there was.
Let's rephrase the question. Did anyone watch the Frontier live stream?
I watched the first hour of it.
I'm sure between us we've watched
I
all.
watched all of it. I can't remember all of it, but I watched it all.
Right, talk us through it then, Flossy.
Yes.
I can't remember it all.
Right, okay, let's start. Who was on it?
Arthur and Sally, I remember that much.
Arthur and Sally, right,
Oh,
okay.
no, the guest was, what was that guest again?
The guy with the
Don't know,
hair.
I tuned out before then.
Oh no, they had the guy with the hair was on. He was, I think he was one of the...
He did that sort of Thargoid spinny thing last time he was on.
Oh, it's this is spot on journalism here. Yeah, that's right. He designed. Was it the glaive he designed?
Yeah, that's it. And he's been doing more stuff since, and it shows some really clever stuff that's coming.
Yep.
That Thargoid's going to be able to grab the passengers out of his
asks
ship.
if we means Max. So yeah, let's go with him
Max,
being called
that's
Max.
it, Max. Yes, he's
Max.
Max. Yeah.
Hang on. Did you say the Thargoids are going to be able to grab passengers out of your ship?
Yep.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah. They'll be able to
No.
target either the passenger cabins or the cargo racks if you're using the pods.
Right.
And they're going to pinch them out your ships.
Right. Well, the thing to remember there is make sure your passengers pay before they get on the ship. Because if you get paid after, it's not worth it at all anymore.
So you sort of
Depends
think,
on whether
I've
you get
managed
mentioned in the
to
will.
rescue all these people out this station. Oh no, now I've lost them again.
Yeah. Well, it's a dangerous business.
Yeah.
Jeez, oh.
I don't know if I'll be doing any more of them.
Did they do anything like stellar screenshots or anything?
Oh
Certainly
yes,
did.
yeah. There's some good ones as well.
Were
Oh,
they
was
stellar?
There were screenshots too.
There were certainly screenshots.
Actually, they started off with a profuse apology for being a little on the late side.
But were they
And
stellar?
explained that it was...
Stellar screenshots.
Absolutely.
Yes. And
Yes.
they explained it was all Arf's fault.
Oh, that's fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember why, but it was definitely all Arf's fault.
It's nice when someone who doesn't really care takes the blame.
Yeah.
I'm only kidding. He does care.
Yeah, he does.
He cares a lot. Yeah, well, that sounds good. And did we miss any other news? I mean, Thargoids ripping passengers out of your ship was pretty big news, but was there anything else? I'll take that
No.
as a no. Yeah, that's it.
I didn't watch
Probably,
it,
but
so
I've got a memory like a sieve.
Go and watch
No,
it. That's our advice.
Yeah,
The
go watch
significant
it.
piece
Not
of
now.
news, and
Yeah.
it is quite a significant piece of news, is that in 25-ish days we're getting the next update.
Yes, update 17.
does it include Panther Clippers?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
they
with
never
maybe.
mentioned them, but I'm sure they do.
I am
It
really
comes
looking
with,
forward to
a
that day.
seriously scary trailer video.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's
and that was a
proper
bit
Oh,
creepy.
yeah.
creepy. Yeah,
It was
with the
thinking longer, I
structures and
think.
things, they
wasn't
looked
it?
like they looked like big arches, though, didn't they? Those things.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Just if you search on YouTube for
Not now,
Elite
though.
Dangerous Update 17, yeah, no, not now.
Not
But if you
now.
search on YouTube for Elite
Later.
Dangerous Update 17, you'll find a Bear Pit article where it's literally just the trailer, so it's
Yes.
well worth a watch.
We
Just
have
don't do it just before bed because you won't sleep.
We have some breaking news as well, don't we?
Do we?
Somebody is having a birthday.
Well, actually, there's like 2.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So
It's like 2
Van Tian
birthdays.
is now having a birthday, so he's now Van Deu. Or Jean-Claude Van Deu. Yes. Also, turning 22 today is the inimitable Nemb, Alison Mabarker, who makes those beautiful stitch badges at ECM. She's having a birthday today as well. And
I think you'll find she's only turning 21 today, actually. So
Is she 21? I've picked that up wrong then.
Yeah.
So you know what that means.
I do know what that means. Let's wheel in the Hutton choristers.
me.
Are we all ready?
No.
Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nem and Vander. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
Yay!
I think the chat are asking us to sing it again.
Really, again?
Well, let's go then. One more time.
One more time, shall we?
Well, there's 2 of them.
Okay.
Music, not that it'll make any difference.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nem and Vander.
21.
Happy birthday to you. And many more.
Many more.
Oh, dear.
Is the chat asking for an encore? Let me see.
The same was that
What's
Amelia's
that?
cat in the studio. Oh God. Mooncake is giving me an odd look. So.
Yeah, everybody in the chat's giving us an odd look as well.
Yeah, my dog left the room.
Your wife left the house.
Oh,
She's
God.
She's left the house.
Oh dear.
Happy
I'm just going
birthday.
to sit in the garden. Tell me when you're done.
Happy birthday to Vantian and Nem. And
Yes.
Yeah.
And I hope you both have a great day.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So we also have like space news.
Space news.
Da, 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 da. Space news.
Right. So, well, we start with the first one, which is tantalising hints of life in faraway worlds.
Ooh.
We did this last week, didn't we?
We
That's
did.
the one where the star doesn't light it up. It's
Yeah.
a red star like the blue planet with white light, except for around the side where it's red.
It's the same image.
Same image.
I think we're doing a different website's version of the same news.
Yeah. I think we might
So,
be doing
yeah.
the same websites version of the
So,
same
yeah.
news.
So the
Gases
news.
smells smelly in an atmosphere.
The first space news today is that there's a graphic designer out there that really needs to be fired at the BBC.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or at least giving a good boot up the arse.
Yes. Moving on. So, what about this? A Starship rocket launch window revealed by FAA.
You don't want to launch a spaceship through a window. You'll break the glass.
Didn't we do
You
this
can
one as
open
well?
it. I don't know.
I've seen that image before. That's the
Open
shiny.
it
That's the
first.
shiny phallic-looking rocket.
Yes. Aye,
No, that's not the phallic one. The phallic one's got a big knob on the end.
aye. That's that one's the Lady Pleaser 3000.
Well, we don't know who's flying it, so...
Well, Captain Kirk hasn't been in that one.
No,
This-
he was the one in the big knob.
This also
Yes.
looks oddly familiar.
Does it now?
Oh, the photo is, but that's just
familiar, is it?
Oddly
that's
familiar.
That's just a
The
full-up standard
head
starship
of
on the
Federal
BFR.
Aviation Administration. So the looks like they know when they're going to launch it. They have an idea when they're going to launch it.
Do they?
If you scroll
It
down,
said something about it. Regulators have revealed when they expect to. Oh, when they expect to approve a launch license. Oh, jeez. This isn't the launch window. This is the window for approving the launch window.
There's lots of adverts on this website.
Mm.
Yeah.
Independent. Well, it's a very pretty rocket,
It
certainly is. Shiny steel rocket.
and yeah,
Yeah.
they're prepping it
It's all
Yes.
dressed up with nowhere to go.
because this kind of it
If
needs
you
a lot.
scroll
Well,
down,
it needs a lot of prep,
Yeah. If you scroll down, you get to see a picture of the last one they launched.
which blew up, didn't it?
Yeah, you just gone past it.
There it is, blowing up. But yeah, that seems to be SpaceX's kind of way of doing things. Is, you know, we'll cut costs and things like that. We'll get it to the launch pad. And we'll get them at the launch pad nice and cheap. We won't put any people in them. And if the first few blew up, it means we can find out what happened to them and then perfect it for the next one. And when they stop blowing up, then we'll start launching them with people in them.
I mean-
they call it iterative design.
Yes.
Is it all? I mean, is this latest one also unmanned?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because I
we'll
mean,
not be fooled.
yeah, they
Spoil that, sorry.
it's a good thing they're unmanned, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, when you look at the below picture and go, who wants to go up in one of these? And everybody goes, ooh, no thank you.
Sorry, I'm busy that day. But we haven't got a date yet. I'm still busy that day.
I'm washing my hair that day. You don't have any hair, I'm washing it anyway.
I'll grow it out.
I'll grow it and then I'll wash it. Yeah.
So, moving on.
Moving on.
China's galactic energy suffers first launch failure. Oh, look at that.
No. I don't know. Oh, there's a nice rocket as well.
It's a very pretty, yeah.
They painted theirs.
And they wrote on it too.
Yeah, they've written all over it.
It says this side up,
Yes.
and the bottom says light blue touch paper and retire to 20 paces.
Yes. Don't stand here when rocket is running.
That bottom part looks oddly like a recipe for noodle soup.
Yes. Hold on. That's not even in China, that's in Helsinki.
Is it?
If you can read this side, you're standing too close.
Yeah, it is. It's Helsinki.
Yeah. It's a Chinese commercial rocket firm called Galactic Energy. It is first failure on Thursday with 10th launch attempt. I would say that would be its 10th failure then if they've tried to launch 10 times.
No, if the first 9 launch successfully, then it'll be their 10th launch attempt and first failure.
Yeah, it wouldn't be their 10th launch attempt though. It would be their 10th launch.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's their
Maybe.
10th attempt, that kind of implies that the previous
maybe
9
they
were
d-
failures.
Maybe the first 9 were cancelled and the 10th one
I'm
failed.
going to scroll down in case it tells you.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know,
don't do
maybe we should
that.
read these things.
Spoil the
No.
We should do like Chicks does and actually read them. So, does it say anything interesting?
It does. The company, which was founded in February 2018, is meanwhile also preparing for its first launch of its Palais 1 kerosene liquid oxygen launcher. Kerosene liquid oxygen. Wow.
A minute.
Relax.
Liquid
Cool.
kerosene liquid oxygen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kerosene propellant with liquid oxygen oxidizer.
Wow.
Right. Is
They went the way I
kerosene
thought, but
is kerosene really good for
Paraffin.
that kind of thing?
apparently so.
It can be. It's not as good as some other things, but the things that are really, really good for it are either really hard to handle or really toxic.
Ah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Hey, if it works, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it works. That's a very nice picture. It's a very pretty picture. So shall I move on?
The launch was China's 44th orbital mission of 2023, and its first failure. Jings! They're firing them up every day.
Well, it's China.
Virtually,
They've been sending stuff
One a
up to
week.
space for a long time.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a lot.
In fact,
Got their own space station up there and everything.
yeah.
They've even swapped out the crew this year a couple of times, I think.
They're
getting
pretty.
good at this space lark.
They're pretty good at this space lark. Yeah.
They've even landed on the moon.
I am surprised they haven't started advertising on their rockets.
That might be what that is. Yeah, but they're meant to be communist, aren't they?
Yeah, Changkang Noodle Bar.
So, shall I move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
All right. So this. Oh, by the way, that China's that website, that China website. Look at the top, at the very top.
Space News!
Space News.
News.
They got it right.
They've stolen our name.
I know, right?
How dare they?
How very dare they?
Anyway,
Yes.
moving on. NASA's Parker solar probe flies through major coronal mass ejection and survives to tell the tale. Oh, we've
Wow.
actually got moving picture here.
Yeah.
So it's like
A
wow.
massive coronal mass ejection. You could have thought you had a different word than massive, couldn't you?
Was it a premature massive coronal mass ejection?
Yes. Hey. Oh, it's going everywhere.
It's going everywhere. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
I couldn't resist. I had to stop myself there because I wasn't sure.
Oh no, I knew what I was saying. Right. Okay, I'm gonna. Yeah. Let's close that one down.
So moving back to the actual science of that story.
Science.
Science.
Wow, it's got everything, isn't it?
Think about science.
Yeah. It's a solar probe that's getting closer and closer and closer to the sun with every orbit. It's getting spectacularly close already. It's taking some of the best photos and best analyses and scans of the sun that we've ever had. And it's just managed to fly through, a bit of sun, basically.
A bit of sun, yeah.
I do like that. What we're seeing there, the imagery.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool. In all seriousness, joking
Oh, yeah.
aside, that's actually
Yes.
really cool.
Yeah.
That's a big bubble of gas that's come off the sun and just, it's
Go on,
obviously
woof. Yeah.
hit the heat shield and come round the sides kind of thing.
It's amazing that it survived.
Yes,
It's designed to.
Oh wow!
it's
that's-
still amazing that it did.
Yeah, it's still.
Oh, it's impressive they got it right, but yeah, it is
Yeah.
designed to do this kind of thing.
Yeah,
That's
it's
very
amazing.
cool.
What a thing. Is Flossy around?
Yes.
Flossy? Do we have a mug winner?
Yes. In fact, this week's winner I've seen in the chat.
Hang on. We need a drum roll. Has anybody got a drum they can roll?
I have a drum roll.
Yay!
This week's mug winner is Kezinik.
Oh, Commander Kezinik!
Kezinik,
Yeah.
yay!
Kezinik!
Well done.
And what would Commander Kezinik
Congratulations.
do if they want to claim that mug? I mean, who wouldn't want to claim their Hutton mug? But what should Commander Kezinik do now?
Spend 500
Well-
credits in unmarked bills stuffed in an envelope addressed to
That'll do it.
the apology officer.
Yes, that'll do it. I was going to say 300. They'll do it for 300. How much have you got? Check your pockets.
Email I took part at huttonorbital.com with your contact details, name, address, email address, phone number, shoe size, hat size, all that kind of thing, and a screenshot of your cockpit showing your name,
Yes.
and a mug will be sent to you in due course.
Just to be absolutely clear, after the confusion last week, that's the cockpit of your spacecraft.
Yes.
Yes.
Not just any cockpit with your name taped inside it.
If you happen to be an airline pilot, we don't want that one.
Yeah.
Do we have a word of the week?
Oh, do we have a word of the week? Hang on, do we have a word of the week? Yes, we do. Word of the week this week is scambler.
Oh, and what does that mean?
A scambler is an uninvited guest who appears only at mealtimes.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
Yes, you watch me. Harry Balzac's cooking is so good that he has scamblers at the door every night at dinner time.
Right.
Right. Scambler.
Scambler. SCAMBLER.
Yes. I think, is that somebody copying that? Jim, are you actually going to copy it and paste it this week, or are you just going to highlight it?
I might do.
Right, I'm going to paste it then. I'll paste it.
It's done. It's done.
I've done it. I'm doing it again.
It's done me.
I'm doing it again. I've done it.
Okay.
It's one for Bulgarius.
Well, I'm doing it again then.
Oh, have you?
Well, now I just feel left out.
What have you done with my life?
Okay.
I've got my Twitch on my Mac, so I can't.
Actually, you know how we were talking about birthdays?
Yeah.
What do we get a Hutton trucker when it's their birthday?
Usually gin.
Not a cake. Jeff the advert, yeah, the cake.
Oh, Jeff
He's
then.
a big, he's a big advert. But what would you get a Hutton trucker when it's their birthday?
Again, usually gin.
Gin.
Yeah.
A mug.
And what would you get to go with the gin and mug?
Pepto-Bismol.
Birthday cardwork. Cardwork.
Aardvark!
Cardwork.
So I guess we move on to Flossy. Are you ready,
Yes.
Flossy?
Probably for the best.
I am ready, yes.
Okay, take it away.
It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. And the community goes.
Hello, Flossy here with this week's City News. I hope you're all sitting comfortably for this long spiel. There were no CGs last week, and there are no new ones this week. Hopefully next week. And that's it for this week's CG News.
Flossy told you what to do.
It's time now to go over to the Mulder and Scully of news. It's Beetlejuice and Wotherspoon with the Galnet News Digest.
We apologise for the slight confusion. We appear to have audio gremlins. Please wait.
At least you can't even sing.
It on as soon as you come back. So, put the mics live.
News Digest, 21st of September, 3309. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, there's concern that the Barnacle Matrix sites are about to activate. The second set of rescue ships move out towards the conflict, and the Warglass Detective Agency puts the Zach Rackham presidential campaign into disarray. There are two sets of Thargoid installations that are critical to their invasion. There are the 8 Titans, the huge motherships or hive ships, wrapped in caustic maelstroms and known to be supply bases for the invasion, and also to be the place the Thargoids keep their prisoners captive. Systems with a Titan in them cannot be captured from the Thargoids. Then there are the 45 Barnacle Matrix sites. These sites contain a number of petalled domes that may or may not provide a base for the revenants that guard the sites. They also contain coral trees, which exude an amber-like sap, and spear roots, which twist into the sky, almost as though they are reaching up to touch something. The existence of these sites has not yet been acknowledged by either Aegis or Azimuth, but they make a huge difference to the war. Like the Titan systems, star systems with a Barnacle Matrix are invulnerable to counterattack. But there are rumours that there may be more to these Barnacle Matrix sites than just that. Footage has been discovered in a canister labelled 16th of October 3309, nearly 4 weeks in the future, that some believe to have been filmed at the Barnacle Matrix in SETI sector BQ-Y B4 planet 8b that shows the site behaving differently. There are shafts of light rising into the sky, possibly from the spear roots, and there is another, larger, revenant-like drone with at least 2, possibly 3 searchlights. What will these be called? Spectres? Phantoms? Shadows? Shades? Will they be hostile, like the revenants, or will they have some other purpose? If the information in this time-travelling video can be corroborated on or after the 16th of October, then perhaps these Barnacle Matrix sites will have begun to reveal their secrets. With the arrival of the Barnacle Matrix sites, those organising the effort to push the Thargoids out of the bubble have had to change their tactics. No sooner have systems near the Matrix sites been saved from alert and have completed their short recovery phase, then they go straight back into alert, creating a never-ending treadmill of work. So, instead, these systems are being allowed to progress to Thargoid invasion, which gives everybody the chance to shoot up some Thargoids at a surface base, and results in a much longer recovery phase. So it's quite a few more weeks before the Thargoids can try putting the system back into alert again. It's not pleasant for the systems affected, but it's the most efficient use of the available military resources, and it means we can keep pushing the Thargoids back from other systems. The Thargoids now have fewer than 500 systems under their control, meaning that nearly 60% of the systems they controlled at the peak of the invasion have been taken back. There are not many more than 100 formerly human-occupied systems left in the aliens' grasp. In other war-related news, the remaining 6 rescue ships have moved forward, making rescue runs, repair and outfitting far more convenient. The rescue ship Bertschinger has moved to Haritanis, the Cavell to Coletti and the Cornwallis to Maximi. The rescue ship Kisei has moved to Tritea, the Imperial Sanctum has moved to Hicks Karamu, and the Federal Haven has advanced to Gira. The war really does seem to be going our way. Presidential candidate Zachary Rackham's campaign is in disarray after the Federal Times published further evidence that Rackham began life as infamous pirate Calico Zack. The Federal Times story uses crowdsourced investigative work and a series of rather disjointed transcripts found at Wishbone Point in the Zeta Trianguli Australis system, The Wall-Glass Detective Agency, which had been hired by the Times, paid a rather generous 1 million credits to everyone who helped research these logs. The logs appear to associate the two Rackhams and a selection of underhand and criminal activities. Ironically, Rackham has never explicitly denied being the famous pirate, but he now says he cultivated the misunderstanding to develop an air of mystery, and that now he is standing for the presidency, he should perhaps no longer advocate piracy as a career. His supporters have been creating rumours that Jerome Archer, or possibly Felicia Winters, planted fake evidence at Wishbone Point, and that the whole thing is a conspiracy to block what they imagine to be the most popular candidate. This latest revelation has, however, lost him two of his most prominent supporters, Sir Randolph Plaskett of the Knights of Enterprise and the popular young icecaster Sora Oyeka. Rackham's remaining supporters are influential, but there aren't very many of them, with news magnates Elias Metaxas and Niamh Macfarlane, a handful of congressmen, and running mate Harlan Turk of Duamta pretty much all he has left. With the Rackham share price severely affected by the antics of its boss, Rackham may find himself unable to take part in the delayed election, which is expected to start towards the end of October. And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news so you don't have to.
Our
I
thanks.
didn't see any seams.
Well, yeah, seamless. It's like this whole show so far. So our thanks to Beetlejude and Wotherspoon, and I know we didn't have any visuals; it was all audio. But if it's any consolation, she looks like she's trying very hard to believe, but wants to laugh, and he looks like he's got knocked up by an alien. So, yeah. And I think...
Scully.
Yes. And I think that's it for this week, isn't it? Do we have any further...
Yeah. No, I don't
You mean
think
we
so.
should quit while we're ahead?
We really should, because, there's been a few glitches tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say the time for that's long past, but...
I mean, it could get a lot worse.
It could get a lot worse. We haven't done the
Quit
credits
while we're
yet.
ahead in a jar.
We still got the credits to go yet.
I have started referring to, in work, I've started referring to people in in Teams meetings as disembodied head in a jar, and I think it might be catching on.
What you need is a green screen and a morph suit,
Yes. It's just,
so you can do the disembodied head floating in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. I wish they would put up something for that. You know how you can get the one where it looks like they're all sitting in cinema seats and things like that? I wish they'd do one that was just like Futurama,
jar.
the jars for Futurama. That would be ideal.
So who wants to do the big screen this week?
Oh.
Can
Okay.
you all?
Oh.
Since I'm on my own in the house again.
Fire up the klaxons, let Flossy get on with it.
Righty-roo.
For the mug!
For that mug.
For the mug!
Mug.
No journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading up the T-9s to the brim with grain. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug. Flossy always seems to crash into the sun. So Swivel likes the pilot on the Xbox One. Alvin at the front, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody yell. Father Mac, Father Mac. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. Father Mac, Father Mac. Now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. Father Mac, Father Mac. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. Father Mac, Father Mac. Now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. Give me a launch pad that I can land on, and I'll give you my cargo and sing you my song. North Part 22 light years to go. Cruising to Hutton, whoa, whoa, whoa. No journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud like you don't even care. Father Mac, Father Mac. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. Father Mac, Father Mac. Now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. Father Mac, Father Mac. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. Father Mac, Father Mac. Now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. Everyone's buggered off now, so why don't you bugger off too?
Seamless.